What do you think of this box, TD?
I like it.
Hard to store, though, right?
Yeah, you're pretty much going to throw it away. Unless you like the art.
Huge box.
You could put this up like in your office.
Yeah.
You could just sit there.
I don't know if it's that cool.
Hours of the day.
Why didn't they give this guy some detail?
You could just look
it's
at it.
It's like blurred out.
It's a spongy style.
Blurred out.
It's supposed to. It's blurry so you can see yourself in him. So when you're sitting there answering HR emails,
so you project.
You just glance up and you think, man, if only I could be there. I could be panning. I could have no concerns in the world. I could be married to a donkey. I could be getting tiny nuggets of gold to trade to the Mexican federales.
Would you trade your life that you have right now with this guy's?
No.
If you say yes, I literally will slap you across the face right now. I'm kidding, but...
There are a lot of people that kind of do, though.
Well, I understand the sentiment of, longing for the simplicity of the 1800s. I get it.
They don't know the amount of work.
Yes. The amount of work and the nasty food those guys had to eat. Dude, they just worked. This guy's working. He probably panned for 12 hours and got nothing.
Plus, you have the runs for, every day of your life. It's just very hard.
See how the artwork is just taking us away? That's what a good box will do. By the way, with this knife, you ain't getting no box. This is a Baron Sun Gold Rush Bowie knife. We're going to make a point with this, and we're not just goofing around. I will review this Bowie knife separately and probably a quick KRV with or without TD. I don't know if he'll be around. Show him the knife.
Fun.
There you go. No. So this is the Gold Rush Bowie, not what we are reviewing right now, but we're making a point. This is a traditional design in a lot of people's minds. So they look at this and go, yeah, that's an Old West Bowie knife. Now, Bowie knives have been unearthed by people using metal detectors, handed down through families, and so there's a lot of different patterns.
Well, it's surprising because they've managed to design so many variations in the short time that and I have to correct you here, the Bowie knife has existed. Everyone knows it was named after its inventor, David Bowie, in the movie Pan's Labyrinth. He used a very distinctive shaped blade. Labyrinth. And I honestly, I haven't seen the movie. I assume he abducts children or takes them into some kind of maze is involved somehow. But since the 80s, they've done a lot of archaeological study on the different types of that knife people have left behind.
This kind of looks like the knife used in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of. Slab-sided. And then we have a very abbreviated grind down here. This portion is hollow ground, a wooden handle, downturned at the end, huge brass guard. I like it. I'm not sure I love it, but I like it. What I would prefer is a modern interpretation of the Bowie design. And a lot of Bowies, in my research, I think developed out of kitchen knives, like cleavers, and then people modified that design into what was considered, kind of the ultimate fighting knife of the day.
It does have that rustic ambivalence towards the very idea of ergonomics that you see.
And that's a downside to this. This is not an ergonomic handle at all. I detest it, actually.
What's the matter with you, boy? You don't got a square hand?
I hate it. Hate the handle. I'll say that in the review. And anyways, we wanted to show you this. Now we're going to show you the star of the show. And are you ready for a bold statement on your Bowie knife?
A bold Bowie.
This might be my favorite Bowie knife yet that we've got.
That's a lot of weight behind that.
There is. Now TD bought one. I bought one. Here it comes. Star of the show. This one is in polished black micarta. It's a Jesse Hemphill Bowie knife. Look at this, dudes. What?
Boom.
What? That is awesome. Awesome knife. Okay, and then show them yours. Bye-bye, traditional Bowie knife.
See a chump.
Look at that. So TD got a burl-handled Jesse Hemphill Bowie knife, and I think it's Hemphill. It looks like Hemphill.
Yeah.
I guess you can say Hemphill, but I think he says his name Hemphill. He's up in Escanaba, Michigan, with Mike Stewart and company of Bark River Knives. So I think they're friends. They know each other, and I think Jesse either worked with him or got a lot of advice from Mike in the knife business. So he learned a lot from Bark River Knives. And we're going to show you Bark River.
It's always interesting how that kind of thing happens. You'll hear about little shops, and you're like, oh, have you seen this? And then it turns, oh, yeah, they had this business, and they worked with this guy. There's a lot of
the knife community knows each other. The custom knife makers know each other. I like staying an outsider. I know some of the people, a lot of them I don't, and that's A-okay, because sometimes I give negative reviews, and if a dude's my friend, it's kind of harder. Yeah. Right. So you got 2 variations right here. Here's the deal. Again, we don't know how available they are, so you might have to click around a little bit to find them. We'll put some links below. You got this in Amazon, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was kind of a, I think, third-party seller at the time.
Okay.
So it
I
went
got
out
this
of
one
stock,
at a,
like, right
a different
after.
website. Yeah. So they're out there, and they do come in different handle sizes. It's not sizes, but treatments. Micarta, burled wood right here. So you might find a different variation that you like. I think, for me, the black micarta is awesome. I wish it was matte finish, though. This black micarta.
That would be cool.
Now, the first thing, if we jump into very quickly, philosophy of use is, of course, it could be a fighting knife. I have no doubt in my mind. This thing is deadly, deadly, deadly. Says me. Notice it has an inline point for piercing, so it's in line with the handle, just like some of the other knives we've covered over the years. It has reach, so it has standoff capability. It's just nasty. It's almost like, as we've said, a hand sword, don't you think?
Yeah, like let's say hypothetically you bring in your latest find of a couple nuggets to Poncho running the trading post down the river. And when you see him, he tells you he'll give you 3 silvers for a nugget as long as it's 1/8 of an ounce.
Yeah.
And he gives you 2 silvers.
Uh-oh.
And you will not let that son of a bitch get away with it. So you get into a scuffle. You know, his friends.
Are you going to
start
draw
getting
your
all
knife on
dancy.
that alone?
I'm skipping the.
Or are you
the
just
part.
putting your hand on the handle
He made
to
a
make
move
a point?
on my wife. So yeah.
Or on your mule. On your mule.
Just look at the distance there, man.
Dude,
if this goes in the ribs, that's like guaranteed pleurisy.
Yes, and we'll show you the specifics here in a second. And again, over 9-inch blade. So yes, it is a fighting knife. That's what it's designed for. But of course, we're not going to use it that way. It's a collectible.
Imagine.
It's just a super, super cool knife to have in your collection.
Sometimes people forget how damaging knives are, but picture a gel test on this. Where it goes in and wiggles around a little bit.
A cold steel meat test like they do. I have no doubt this thing would cleave, pierce, chop things off. Yeah, it's almost not quite as nasty as a Nutnfancy Bowie by Cold Steel.
Yeah, it is pretty stout.
Or the Rio Grande by Bark River. Those are even heavier and more of kind of swinging weapons. This is so well balanced and so fast in hand. In my opinion, and I don't know much about knives, as you guys know, it's a well-balanced fighting weapon. I think primarily, though, collectible. It makes you happy to have it in your collection. Yeah. It would look very cool in a red velvet presentation case, don't you think? An oak presentation case right here, the Jesse Hemphill Bowie.
That's what I got mine for.
Yes.
I just wanted to be able to put it up on the wall because it's pretty.
Yeah. Okay, and let's bounce to this super quick. These are super affordable for what you are getting.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot imagine that these knives will remain priced like this. So if you want one, get it now. We're talking around 200-ish.
Yep.
You heard right. For around $200, and it has an 80 CR V2 blade on it with this custom-made style handle on it. Perfect grind, perfect fit and finish. We'll say, what, 200 to 240, depending on which one you get and where you go to get it.
And I think the maple was a little more. This is a bit like that. Because you got to get a good quilted cut.
What?
Quilted. That's what the guitar guys call that.
Super high value, though. So that's enough for POU. Let's get into the specifics. And why I say, to this point, it's probably my favorite Bowie knife yet. First up is the handle. TD, look at that handle. I bring so many knives to the table where the handle is too short, too abbreviated, and not done correctly, especially if you ever were to put this into a fighting philosophy of use. Okay? Look at this. So I have large size hands, fits perfect, and I have some room left over. It's flared out at the end, has a palm swell in it, so it's very ergonomic. So Jesse got this right. It just feels so perfect in hand. We got a brass guard here. I wish it was just a little bit longer, the brass guard.
Yeah.
And again, in this variation, I wish I had a matte finished micarta handle for more traction. I could tape it with a not electrical, but athletic tape for more serious traction, right? Show me your handle.
That just sounds crazy to me.
That would be temporary. Just like if I'm doing something momentarily that I need more traction. Look at how pretty that handle is.
Beautiful. Why would you want to? Yeah, it does need more traction. But now, the shape kind of makes up for it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have bought this if it weren't for the shape is what really.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It fits. It swells just right to sit in the hand.
And you have large size hands too, right?
Yeah.
You wear large gloves?
Yeah, I'm an XL.
You have XL hands? Put your hands against mine, dude. Your fingers are longer than mine.
Yep.
How?
Because I'm a homunculus.
Dude, not by much.
I'm the sensory man.
I didn't know that. That's weird, man.
I've like size 12 and a half feet.
Back to the blade, y'all. Okay, so look at this beautiful grind right here. Look at that grind. I love this long, elegant, unsharpened swedge, TD. Look at that. So beautiful. And this is where we have to bring in a Bark River, which I love, 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 love. Here's the box from this Bark River. We've shown it multiple times. We purchased this for an insanely low price way back in 2009.
Sound familiar? Hey,
yes.
Hey, where'd you find those Bark Rivers for so cheap?
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah. What did we pay for these? $150 each, I think.
Yeah.
$150.
On smoking
Disregard
sale.
the price.
Because
they weren't selling. They weren't selling.
Popular.
Nobody wanted them.
It's just like finding a Model 19 Smith & Wesson at a
Right.
shop, and they're like, yeah, no,
Right.
they all want poly pistols.
Yeah, so it's interesting that I have that one. So this is a natural curly maple coffin-handled Bark River Bowie knife from 2009. And yes, we know they have some new Bowie knives that have come out. Look at this. That's a beautiful knife, right?
Beautiful Bowie knife.
Beautiful Bowie knife. This is convex ground and A2 steel, 8.5-inch blade, so a little bit smaller than the Jesse Hemphill. And let's compare handle sizes.
I can really see that design language in common there.
It's funny you say that because I look at Jesse's knives and I think Bark River.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like they're out of the same workshop.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they say have the same fit and finish. If you look at the spacing, the fitment of the spacers here, very similar. Very similar. These have raised over time a little bit, though.
Do you like how it's
this one's 11 years old?
I got one red stripe and you got two.
It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. This has a lanyard hole in it. This one doesn't. Does that make you sad?
Not too much, actually.
You don't care?
For a camp knife, I like them.
By the way, I forgot to mention that in POU. I would not use these as woods blades.
Yeah.
Could you? Yeah, you could. But I got other blades for that. I don't want to go out and whack this around and beat it up.
I would feel bad hammering on that tip, though.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, 80 CRV2. I haven't really used that steel. Not in memory. I can't remember a knife of that steel, but from my understanding, it has the qualities of 1080, but the toughness of a 5160, and everyone's saying it's tough as nails.
Cool.
So good steel for the price. Amazing. Now, this was formerly my most favorite Bowie knife in our collection, and now I think it's been superseded because I like the handle better.
Yeah.
This is a coffin handle, kind of a throwback to traditional Bowie knife making.
Look at just the shape of it. I guess it's good for knocking people on the head, maybe?
Well, coffin-shaped Bowie knives, we've shown them before. It's traditional. But what Bark River did right in this particular edition of their Bowie knife is that it is a long handle, it doesn't have any hot points, but this is better still. It has a palm swell in the flare.
Yeah.
I just like it a little bit better. And I like that this is a longer blade.
Yeah.
It's an inch longer, over an inch longer.
Blade.
I do too. If I'm going to collect a Bowie knife like this, I want it to look nasty.
Yeah, so when he doesn't give me my silver, I get to at least get a little more bargaining power.
Right. Now, when we first got these, we were super stoked. We're on the phone going, dude, you get yours? Yeah, I got mine. We're, kind of trading back and forth our opinion of it. I, at first, thought it looked very similar to a Randall Model 1 with that unsharpened swedge on the top. But as I got into the Randall catalog, and I have one right here, it isn't really quite the same. So there are some photos right there. And by the way, these are super, super expensive. And they're awesome knives. This is a Randall Model 1. Gaining fame in World War II, being produced ever since the Model 1 by Randall. Very famous, very excellent. Perhaps a bit pricey.
Yeah,
a bit pricey. If you order it direct from the company, your waiting time, I think, will be like a year and a half, 2 years?
Jeez.
Maybe more. I forget. I'm looking at this knife right here, guys. But this knife, the Hemphill Bowie reminded me of this. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. And it's like a fraction of the cost. And actually, I like this one better. It has a longer, more elegant, unsharpened swedge here.
Is there a reason? I know it's not super functional, but was there a legality thing behind that where you can't have the rear sharpened at the same time?
It depends on your state. You know, I think most states you can if you wanted to sharpen it. I don't know a reason why you would on this one, because its penetration power as it comes out of box will be phenomenal. I have no doubt whatsoever, so why would you need to do it? All it would do is actually give you more risk as a user. And if you ever did have to put this into a woodscraft philosophy of use, then you have this sharp and it's just going to chew up your baton.
I was just
I'm speaking from experience, by the way.
Threateningly running my tongue along the blade while mocking someone, because I think that's
at the
what
trading
guys
post
did back.
by the river. Is that when you're going to do that?
According to Hollywood films, that's exactly how you bargain.
That's going to intimidate the dude. Yeah. Let's look at the blade again. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. So here's another thing I like. So this is a convex ground A2 blade by Bark River. And this is convex ground to a point. Notice this, it has just a regular edge on it right here. So I could put this on the Edge Pro Apex and put an edge on it. I like that too, about the Hemphill Bowie. Nice fit and finish on this. And I think each one is handmade by Jesse and his crew.
I like that.
We'll say for $225. For $225, you're getting a handmade, custom level Bowie knife. Let that sink in. If you guys know anything about pricing of custom knives, you know they'll go up into the stratosphere. Like $1,500 for a handmade Bowie knife is like normal. In some circles, they'll consider you getting a really good deal. Depending how many they produce. Like if they only did like a one-off.
I always wonder about that too, because non-knife people have no idea the value of those things. Can you imagine how many dudes are just, oh yeah, your dad left behind some knives in the garage. I don't know, I'll just give them away. Yeah. I gave them to a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Dude.
Could be like a special one-off from Arizona Custom for $2,700, and they give it away at a swap meet for $100. There's his handle again. Which of these handles do you like better?
This one, of course. I'm normally not big on lighter colors, but I like that. Also, I kind of like lighter colors for outdoor stuff. Helps you see it when you put it down. True. Helps you see it if you have it in your bag. Yeah. Also, if you leave it in the sun, it doesn't burn your hands. Now,
these are both maple handles. Burled, of course. This is light. That's dark maple. I'm kind of torn which one I would like better between those two handle materials.
The depth on this grain is awesome.
It looks deep, doesn't it?
I don't know how
you look at it. It looks super deep. Rad. Yeah, super deep. Let me measure the thickness of the blade if I have my digital caliper here. I do. Yay, because I forgot to write it down, dudes.
The girth.
So here's another thing they do right. 4.2 millimeters.
That's cool.
4.2 is they didn't make it too thick. You don't want your Bowie knife that is ostensibly designed for fighting to be too thick. It just slows it down. You want it to be high speed. Remember the overall carry weight too, guys. What I say, 17.6 ounces. And that includes a sheath. And here we go talking about this. From Sharpshooter Systems.
Rad.
Same one that puts together the sheath for you-know-who. This guy. The Bark River. Awesome. Let's see if I have that sheath around here. Here it is. So here's the Bark River 2009 sheath. Right there on the top. Great sheath. I mean, it's a great sheath. Traditional, has a leather strap on it. This is a Bark River. This one's more simple, but it's lightweight and high speed. If you want to put like a leather thong through here or a D-ring, you can. But it's a nice sheath. It's waxed. It has excellent stitching on it. What I would recommend, guys, if you get this, don't store it in the sheath. Both for rust resistance, don't do it, and you want this sheath to remain taut. You want it to remain taut. You know what I'm saying? What you want to do...
Like a tight, taut little pocket.
Oh my goodness. Just save this and store it in there. That way, when you want to, I don't know, carry it around or use it and whatever you want to do, it's ready to go, and it'll have some tension to it. Let's look at the back of the sheath again.
I like how simple it is.
The sound of genuine leather.
Yeah, buddy.
Love it, love it, love it. That's it, dudes. This knife is my favorite Bowie knife yet.
Beautiful.
I mean, this is a very, very close second. That is fast in hand, super sharp, awesome fit and finish, This is basically the same knife with a better handle, longer blade, and a more elegant unsharpened swedge on the top. What do you think?
I love anything that fits more aggressively in the hand. You know, where it's canted forward.
Yeah.
You don't see that all the time. That's why I love that buck hoodlum so much.
Oh, the buck hoodlum's a great knife.
Just the way it sits.
Yeah.
It's ready, it's balanced.
Right. By the way, this total carry weight, this Bark River is going to be 20.2 ounces with its sheath, but it's going to be a lighter weight blade. The blade itself, this one here, as if you could go get one, by the way, is only 14.4 ounces. That one there. Yeah, excellent. We're not planning on selling these, by the way. We still love the Bark River Bowie knives. And like we've been talking about, they've come out with some really awesome ones, like the Rio Grande.
Yeah.
But that's not really a lightweight, super fast, elegant fighter like this is. And this is really a fighting knife, what you're looking at, guys. It's an interpretive and fighting knife. Different from that traditional Old West Bowie design, which suits me just fine. It's my newest favorite blade along these lines. TD.
I will say there's one thing I wish these people would do.
What?
I want more proof marks.
Good
I want them on everything.
Good point. That's a really good point.
When you get into collector, or especially if it's like guy collector stuff.
I couldn't agree more.
We love diving in, finding out the info. I would love if I could open, just a little stamp here.
Yep.
Stamp in a couple places.
I want to know who built it. I want to know the date of creation, and I want a serial number on it.
Yeah.
And then I want do a laser engraving of a knife fight in the Old West at your trading post.
Something, yeah.
Serious. I'm serious. It would be cool.
Poncho the old what for?
Yeah.
Stealing my nugs back from him.
Steal my nugs. By the way, the watch for the review is a Gen 1 Spinnaker Rec. They have new ones. We'll put a link below. The Rec is alive again. What are you wearing, TD? Show them. Santo. Which one is that? I get them all confused. Turn it over. I might have it labeled. All the Fleeger
stuff kind of blends together. Heritage Aviator. 2700 series.
That thing was discontinued, guys. So sorry. That's a great watch. Great watch. Thank you so much for watching the Knife Show. Tactical Doodle, thanks for showing up, dude. Keep clicking on the videos. We keep producing them. We have so many more knives to review. So fun. Thanks for being part of the donation community. That's right. Fueling the non-biased, always truthful reviews.